I think we don't want to go through a full timeline and all of the details and that kind of stuff because it's astonishingly heavy. And also, I don't think we're going to get anything out of it other than just distressing people by talking about the details over and over and over again. I don't think, listen, if you're interested in why everybody has such an extraordinary negative reaction to this after otherwise having either no or a positive opinion about the player, then you can go and look up the information yourself. But the summary of it is that Florescent has been accused, I would say very credibly, of sexual assault, of a level of manipulative abuse as well in prior relations. We've seen people coming out from former teammates and other people that she's been interacting with over the course of her career, kind of not necessarily corroborate the main accusation, but build a picture of somebody that was, at the very least, unpleasant towards those that were trying to do the best for her. And I'm sure that there's a large amount of this that you could go into and talk about the mental illness component of it, but I think it should be blatantly clear that that does not in any way allow you to act in a way that causes enormous amounts of harm on other people that you interact with. The details of the allegation are genuinely horrific. It's some of the worst stuff that I've read in this space. So yeah, we just wanted to make sure that we discussed it in the sense of bringing it up, saying that we have a lot of sympathy for the people affected and don't expect there to be a return for Florescent, essentially. I don't know if other people have anything they'd like to add on that front.
Yeah, I think the probably the best thing to pull up to just give a good approach to how to talk about this or handle it is the statement that her former teammates on Shopify put out, who obviously she played with for 2 years. Fleur lived with Sarah during that time, and like we're obviously very close people to her. But basically, I think that this kind of the guide how to handle something like this that they're talking about. I mean, read the statement for yourself in whole. I'm not gonna read it through all the way, but they're basically just saying that Fleur's behavior is obviously reprehensible, and that at this moment you should focus on the victims and hoping that they're okay, and anything that can kind of be done to be better for them in what is obviously a really terrible situation. It takes a lot of strength to come out and actually like publicly make allegations about something like this that is really one of the most like horrible and traumatizing things that someone can go through, and then putting that out on the internet against someone who has a really big picture in the space and is obviously is going to get a ton of attention. And yeah, honestly, I don't really know what else to say besides that it's just incredibly reprehensible what she's done and what she stands accused of here. And also that I think a lot of people are going to go into a position of like, but there's no actual evidence or there's no whatever. But and a lot of times with sexual assault, it's one of the things that is like the least often actually convicted. If you look at the numbers, it has something like 1/6 of the like conviction rate in actual like criminal cases for rape than something like assault. And a lot of the time these things are really hard to actually to prove and go through with. But I think what the victim has put out is pretty credible, and the way the behavior has been corroborated by other people that knew Fleur and were close to her. And yeah, it's just really, really bad and extremely disappointing to see someone do that really horrible shit, especially someone who a lot of people held up to as like kind of a role model and a very impressive player in her own right. So yeah, really, really shit.
Yeah. And a reminder to that people on the internet can be extremely terrible people, and that just as a general, you don't know people. So there's going to be a lot of and the sad reality is we are going to have these kind of conversations again in the future. We don't know when, but it's almost inevitable just because of the space and also the amount of people involved, how common this kind of stuff can be. I wish that wasn't the case. Hopefully people can learn not to be pieces of shit. I think that does it for us though, for episode 218.